Have you ever wondered why some men seem to effortlessly attract women, while others, no matter how hard they try, always end up confused, rejected, or taken for granted? It's not always about looks, money, or status, no. The truth is deeper. Women, just like men, have hidden weaknesses. And when you, as a man, understand them, you stop being manipulated, you stop being confused, and instead, you begin to lead with clarity, strength, and direction. Before we dive in, let me ask you this: would you like to finally understand women in a way most men never will? If yes, then stay until the very end of this video, because what I'm about to share with you will completely change your love life. And if you're serious about growing in wisdom and relationships, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and watch all the way through. I promise you, these insights can shift how you see women forever. Now let's bring Marcus Aurelius into this. He once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." What if I told you that understanding a woman's weaknesses is not about exploiting her, but about making sure you're never trapped, never fooled, and never drained by them? What if you could walk into any relationship with your eyes wide open, grounded in stoic wisdom instead of blind desire? Let me take you through the top 6 weaknesses women have that every man must know. And trust me, if you master this, you'll never see women the same again. 1. Her desire for validation. Have you ever been in love with a woman who seemed to shine brighter every time you praised her? Think back. Maybe it was your first love, maybe it was your last relationship. Do you remember how her face lit up when you told her she was beautiful? When you texted her good morning? When you noticed her new dress or new hairstyle? At first it felt magical, right? Like your words had the power to make her world spin. But then something strange started happening. The more you praised her, the more she wanted. What used to make her smile for days started lasting only for hours. Suddenly, your beautiful wasn't enough. She needed constant reassurance all the time. Let me tell you a story you might recognize from your own life. There was a man, we'll call him Amir. Amir loved deeply the way most good men do. His girlfriend was stunning, confident, the kind of woman who could walk into a room and capture attention without saying a word. At first, Amir was proud to be by her side. He gave her compliments every day. "You're gorgeous. You're perfect for me. I don't know what I'd do without you." At first, she glowed with happiness. But slowly, Amir realized something. His words didn't fill her anymore. She started fishing for more. If he didn't notice her makeup, she'd pout. If he forgot to compliment her outfit, she'd say, "You don't love me like before." What used to be sweet became heavy. Can you relate to this? Have you ever been in a relationship where no matter how much you gave, it never seemed enough? This, my friend, is one of the most common weaknesses in women, the endless craving for validation. Now, don't get me wrong. Everyone wants to feel loved and appreciated. You want it, I want it. But when a woman depends on validation the way a fish depends on water, it becomes a dangerous cycle. Because the truth is, you can't pour your soul out every day just to keep her self-esteem alive. It's exhausting. Marcus Aurelius once said, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." Think about that. If her ambition is only to be seen, admired, and validated, then her worth in her own eyes will always depend on the approval of others. And you'll become her constant supplier, draining yourself just to keep her happy. Here's the lesson. A woman's need for validation is not evil, but it is endless. The more you feed it, the hungrier it grows. So what's the solution? Don't stop giving love, but give it with balance. Compliment her when you mean it, not when she demands it. Let your validation be like gold, rare, valuable, and sincere. So let me ask you one final question. Are you building a love where she shines from within? Or are you stuck in a cycle where you are her mirror, reflecting back what she cannot see in herself? Because if you don't understand this weakness, you will mistake her bottomless hunger for love as true love itself. Yeah, her struggle with self-control. Have you ever been with a woman who told you one thing, but did the complete opposite the very next moment? Maybe she said, "I'm done with him. I'll never text him again." And then, boom, you catch her replying to his messages the same night. Or maybe she promised to save money with you, but her shopping bags told a very different story. Does this sound familiar? This is where we uncover the second weakness every man must understand: a woman's struggle with self-control. Now let me tell you a story. There was a man named Ali. Ali was disciplined. He worked hard, saved money, and dreamed of building a future. He believed love was about partnership, two people walking together, balancing each other. His girlfriend, however, lived in the moment. Every payday she couldn't resist online shopping. New shoes, new dresses, new makeup, things she didn't need but wanted. At first, Ali thought it was harmless. She deserves to treat herself, he said. But soon, small expenses turned into big debts. She didn't know how to say no to her impulses, and when Ali tried to explain, she brushed it off. Life is short, we should enjoy it. But deep down, Ali started to feel the weight. He was planning a future. She was chasing the present. And slowly he realized they weren't walking the same path. Now pause for a moment. Be honest with yourself. Have you ever been Ali? Have you ever felt like you were the only one holding the relationship together while she lived without restraint? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." But here's the problem. Not everyone realizes that power. Some women, just like some men, let their emotions drive them instead of their reason. They act on impulse. They fall into temptation. They justify mistakes by saying, "It just happened." But think carefully, nothing just happens. Every action is a choice. And if a woman struggles with self-control, that weakness can spill into every part of your relationship. Money, loyalty, emotions, even love itself. Here's the danger. When a woman cannot govern herself, she will expect you to govern her. You'll become her safety net, her rescuer, her shield against the consequences of her own choices. And let me tell you, nothing will drain your masculine energy faster than carrying the weight of someone else's chaos. So what should you do? The answer is not to judge her, but to observe her. Pay attention. Does she live with discipline? Can she say no to her impulses? Or does she live for the thrill of the moment, no matter the cost? Because here's the truth. Love without self-control turns into chaos. And a man who ignores this weakness will wake up one day trapped, wondering how he lost his peace. So let me ask you again. Are you with a woman who can control her world? Or are you with one who expects you to control it for her? The answer to that question could save your future. Her love for drama over peace. Have you ever been in a relationship where, even when everything seemed calm and good, somehow a fight just had to appear out of nowhere? Maybe you thought to yourself, why can't we just enjoy the peace? If that's ever happened to you, you've seen firsthand the weakness I'm about to reveal. Some women love drama more than peace. Let me take you into a story. There was a man named Hassan. Hassan was calm by nature. He loved quiet evenings, cooking dinner at home and talking about life. He believed love should be a safe harbor after a long day in the storm of the world. But his girlfriend Sarah was different. She couldn't sit still in peace. If Hassan didn't text her back within 5 minutes, she accused him of ignoring her. If he smiled politely at a waitress, she accused him of flirting. If there wasn't a problem, she created one. At first, Hassan thought it was passion. He mistook her constant emotional storms as a sign that she loved deeply. But over time, he realized this wasn't passion. This was drama. And drama is not love, it is a hunger for chaos. Now let me pause and ask you, can you relate to Hassan? Have you ever had a woman stir up conflict even when you were doing everything right? Did you ever find yourself walking on eggshells, afraid that the smallest thing might spark an argument? Marcus Aurelius once said, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think or do, only what you do." That's wisdom. But here's the truth. Not everyone is comfortable with tranquility. Some women crave drama because it makes them feel alive. Drama gives them adrenaline, emotion, and attention. And if peace feels too quiet, they will create storms just to feel the rush. But here's the danger. When you're with a woman who prefers drama over peace, you begin to lose yourself. You start to think conflict is normal. You start to believe love has to be painful. And before you know it, you're drained, exhausted, and questioning your own worth. I'll tell you this, true love is not built on constant chaos. Peace is not boring, it's the highest form of love. Because when a woman truly loves you, she won't seek to exhaust you with endless arguments. She will rest in your presence. She will make your life lighter, not heavier. So men, here's the question you need to ask yourself. Does she add to my peace, or does she add to my storms? Because the answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know about whether she's the right woman for your future. Never forget, a relationship should be your sanctuary, not your battlefield. And if she cannot live without drama, she cannot live with love. For her habit of blaming instead of owning. Have you ever been in a situation where, no matter what happened, somehow it was always your fault? Maybe she lost her temper. Maybe she made a bad choice. Maybe she even betrayed your trust, yet the finger always pointed back at you. If that rings a bell, you've already experienced one of the most destructive weaknesses a woman can have, her habit of blaming instead of owning. Let me share a story you might recognize. There was a man named Farhan. Farhan was loyal, hardworking, and gave his all to his relationship. But his girlfriend Layla had a dangerous pattern. Whenever she made a mistake, she turned it back on him. If she snapped at him, she'd say, "Well, you made me angry. You pushed me to it." If she overspent on shopping, she'd argue, "You should have managed me better." And one day, when Farhan found out she had been messaging another man, her response was chilling. "Maybe if you gave me more attention, I wouldn't have needed to talk to him." Think about that for a moment. The betrayal was hers, but the blame was his. Now pause. Have you ever felt like Farhan? Have you ever been made to feel guilty for something you didn't even do? That's the trap of blame. It blinds you to the truth and tricks you into carrying a burden that isn't yours. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The wisdom here is simple. A good person takes ownership of their actions. But when a woman refuses to own her choices, she not only avoids accountability, she also steals your peace. Here's why this weakness is so dangerous. It creates a cycle. If you accept her blame once, you'll accept it again and again. Slowly, you'll begin to doubt yourself. You'll start to question your worth, your judgment, even your sanity. And all the while, she continues making the same mistakes, never learning, never growing. But here's the truth. Love cannot survive without responsibility. Every action in a relationship is a seed. Some grow into trust, others grow into betrayal. But if one person plants poison and then blames the other for the taste, the garden will never thrive. So what should you do as a man? Observe. When conflict arises, does she own her part? Or does she twist the story to make you the villain? If she cannot face her own reflection, she is not ready for real love. Because here's the reality. Relationships are not about perfection, but about accountability. Everyone makes mistakes, but only those who own them can grow from them. So ask yourself this. Are you carrying the weight of her blame? Or are you standing beside a woman who has the courage to own her truth? The answer to that will tell you whether your love is built on solid ground or quicksand. 5. Her desire for pleasure over purpose. Have you ever been with someone who always chased the next thrill but never thought about tomorrow? Maybe she loved parties, late nights, shopping, trips, and endless entertainment. But when it came to building a future, saving or planning, she went silent. If you've seen that, then you've touched on one of the deepest weaknesses a woman can have. Her desire for pleasure over purpose. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Zain. Zain was ambitious. He dreamed of starting his own business, buying a home, and building a legacy. He wanted a partner who would walk with him toward that vision. At first, his girlfriend Hira seemed perfect. She was fun, exciting, full of life. Every week, she wanted to go somewhere new, restaurants, concerts, trips with friends. Zain enjoyed it at first, thinking, this is what young love should be. But as time went on, he noticed a pattern. Whenever he talked about saving money or working late to build his career, she grew restless. She'd say, "Why are you always so serious? Life is short, we should enjoy it." And so the conflict began. Zayn was building for the future, but Hira was living only for the present. When the money ran out, she blamed him. When responsibilities came, she avoided them. She wanted the highs of pleasure, but never the weight of purpose. Now pause for a moment. Can you relate to Zayn's story? Have you ever been with someone who wanted the fun of love, but not the responsibility of it? Someone who wanted the thrill, but not the discipline? Marcus Aurelius once said, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Living isn't about chasing endless pleasure. It's about building something meaningful. Pleasure is sweet, but it is temporary. Purpose, however, gives your life direction. Here's the problem. When a woman's life is built on pleasure, she becomes restless. Nothing is ever enough. The party ends, the trip finishes, the shopping bags lose their shine, and she needs the next hit. And if you as a man tie yourself to her desires, you'll be dragged into an endless chase for happiness that never lasts. Here's the truth. Pleasure is not evil. We all need moments of joy, fun, and laughter. But when pleasure replaces purpose, emptiness follows. A relationship without shared vision will collapse, no matter how exciting it feels in the beginning. So here's the question you must ask yourself. Does she live for the next thrill? Or does she live for something bigger? Because the woman who chooses purpose will walk with you through storms, build with you in silence, and celebrate with you when success comes. But the woman who chooses only pleasure will leave you drained, lost and wondering why love felt so empty. Never forget this: pleasure fades, purpose remains. Choose wisely. 6. Her struggle with silence. Why do you think so many people today can't sit in silence? Why is it that the moment things get quiet, they grab their phones, turn on the TV, or start a meaningless conversation? Now imagine this in a relationship. You sit with her, no arguments, no distractions, just the two of you in silence. For some women, that silence feels heavy, even unbearable. They fidget, they scroll, they talk endlessly, anything to avoid being still. This is where we uncover the 6th weakness: a woman's struggle with silence. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Imran. Imran valued peace. After long hours of work, he loved sitting on his balcony with a cup of tea, letting the quiet settle around him. To him, silence wasn't emptiness, it was presence, it was rest. But his girlfriend Aisha couldn't handle it. Every time they were quiet together, she grew uncomfortable. If Imran wasn't texting back quickly, she'd panic. If he wanted a quiet evening without talking much, she'd ask, "Why are you being distant? Do you still love me?" Imran wasn't distant, he was just resting. But Aisha couldn't understand. Silence to her felt like rejection. She feared it because it forced her to face her own thoughts, her own insecurities. Now let me pause and ask you, have you ever been in Aisha's shoes? Or maybe dated someone like her? Someone who filled every silence with noise, because they were afraid of what silence might reveal? Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions, than your own soul." That's the heart of it. A strong soul finds peace in silence, but a restless soul avoids it. And here's the danger: if she can't sit in silence, she can't sit in depth. A relationship built only on noise, entertainment, and distraction never touches the deeper levels of love. Think about it. True intimacy isn't just in laughter or conversation. It's in sitting quietly together, comfortable in each other's presence, needing no words. If silence makes her uneasy, she will always demand more stimulation, more texting, more talking, more noise. And you, as a man, will find yourself drained, trying to keep up with her fear of stillness. But here's the deeper truth. Silence is where love matures. It's where two people stop performing for each other and simply are. If she can't embrace silence, she may confuse chaos for passion, noise for connection, and distraction for love. So ask yourself this: can the woman you love sit with you in silence, or does she always run from it? Because the answer will tell you whether your love can survive beyond the surface. Remember this: silence is not the absence of love. Silence is the test of love. And if she cannot face silence, she may never face truth. Closing. Now let me leave you with this, knowing these weaknesses is not about judging or condemning women. No, it's about seeing clearly, so that you as a man don't get trapped, fooled,